Hello and welcome back to KSP Real Solar System campaign. We are in the VAB right now to lay out the plans for our next interplanetary mission. And for this particular mission I have decided to go back to Venus. Of course we have been to Venus already, we have done a flyby of Venus and that was in fact our first interplanetary mission. But this time, as you may have guessed from the choice of modules there, we are going for a manned flyby of Venus. And that is going to bring with it a whole host of new challenges. Now, I'm just designing the command module here for this particular mission, and it has a one-man capsule or lander can. I also put a heat shield at the bottom because this particular module is intended to return to Earth, so it needs parachutes, it needs a heat shield, and it can't be too heavy. Now I've also decided to just have one man on this mission because well, that's just to limit the amount of supplies we have to bring with us, which is going to weigh a whole lot. Now the next step is to design a service module for this manned spacecraft, and of course we need a lot of life support modules and supplies on this mission. So I just put some tanks and waste disposal containers on there to support the mission really. Next I started to build sort of a grid on top of those tanks and using those girders, and then I'll have some connection points at the end there and a docking port at the top. Then on the inside here we'll also fit some a little bit of room for the various modules we are going to bring with us. Of course we need struts here to maintain the structural integrity of this. Put the antenna in the middle there and then start attaching all the modules to this. Solar panels are going to be quite useful on this mission since we're going to Venus. Also some radiators might be needed, I'm not sure how necessary they are, but I'm going to bring some of them with me anyway. Next thing I need to add is some RCS engines and a RCS tank, and then also need to put some well, there's bits and bobs that are going to put here and there really, and all the scientific modules are going to go on this part of the spacecraft, going to be fit inside this sort of grid we have in the center here. And yeah, some scanners I just put on. I'm not sure how useful they are going to be, but I put them on anyway. And then see if I couldn't fit some extra solar panels, which I did at the bottom there. Now, one of the most important parts of the service module is going to be the engine, of course, and at first I thought I would try the new nuclear engine that we have just researched, but it runs off of liquid hydrogen, and when comparing it to the engine we usually use on these types of long duration missions, I decided that the Apollo service module engine was going to be the best choice. The next step is to assemble the whole spacecraft into one spacecraft, that is, just fit the command module and service module together in a good manner, and then we are ready to go. So then the final part, of course, is designing the booster for the rocket, and as you can imagine, this is going to have to be a pretty big booster since the main spacecraft weighs something like 45 tons, so that is quite a lot, and it's going to have to be something on the something similar in size to our man-moon mission booster. So yeah, pretty big. This is the third stage, by the way, which will run off of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen with our usual J2 engines. Then the second stage will also run off the same fuel type and with the same engine, just a lot more of them. That is going to be 9 engines in total, by the way, and that is going to hopefully provide me with enough thrusts. You can see I have to make some adjustments underway here, but this is roughly the size that second stage is going to be. Then last but not least, we have to design the first stage, which is going to be absolutely enormous, and of course it's going to feature our tried and trusted F1 engines. A total of 8 of them, that is. So this is going to be a pretty mean first stage with a ton of power. And as if those 8 F1 engines didn't provide enough power, I decided to add some of our most powerful SRBs as well, just to get that extra thrust off the launch pad. And at first I thought 2 of them would do me just fine, although as you shall see, in the end I decided to go for 4 of them to get that little extra oomph at the start and some extra delta V as well. And we are just about ready to launch our manned Venus mission with our one crew member, Tatiana Tikhonova, who will be the pilot for this particular mission. And she will be spending a lot of time alone in space, possibly over 2 years. So this is going to be an interesting mission, I think. And but without further ado, let's get this thing off the ground. So it is pretty loud, this rocket. That really just comes from the sheer force of the first stage here, which has 4 of those SRBs and 8 F1 engines. Now in comparison, the Saturn V had 5 F1 engines, so that should give you some perspective into how big this rocket is. It is certainly much bigger than the Saturn V, almost twice as big, I think, when you compare the weights. Close to first stage cutoff here, and we are going to launch the second stage right away. And one of the reasons is that this the second stage, well, it doesn't have sufficient avionics, as you'd see, but it doesn't have ullage thrusters either, which was a bit of an oversight, really. But although we can live without that, we can use the RCS thrusters on the final spacecraft to provide enough ullage later on. And you can see the weight of the spacecraft has dropped sufficiently to give us back control over the steering. So this is going to carry us out into well, this is going to take us for orbit. I'm not sure, we had to start the engine a bit earlier than I would have liked, so I think we have to do one additional insertion burn to get into full orbit. So just a quick update here. We had one engine fail actually on the second stage. Now that has caused a little bit of instability in the rocket, but as long as it's just one stage, no, not one engine, I mean, one engine out of 9, it's not really going to cause that much trouble, but it could turn pretty bad if we lose multiple engines. You can see the one over here is the one that's not working anymore. So the other 8 engines are doing just fine, carrying us into orbit, and we are going to go for cutoff pretty soon, I think. I'm not going to let the perhaps go above 3. Well, maybe we'll cut a little before that even. So we're not going to let it go over 250 kilometers, I think. So we are going to get ready for cutoff here. Oh, come on, cut. There we go. There we go. So now I'm going to get ready for doing a very quick burn with the second stage engines. It's just going to be for a few seconds. Let's see. Oh, we had another engine fail actually. And we'll cut there. There we go. That is a decent enough orbit. So too bad we lost another engine though. Luckily it was on roughly the opposite side, so it doesn't hurt the balance of the rocket really, and it's only going to have a minor impact on our mission success. So let's set Venus as a target, and we'll try a maneuver node here. Okay, that should do the trick. You can just move it slightly over here, and there we go. We have an encounter already. So that was pretty quick. So just a quick note here, we have lost so many of our engines. We only have 4 engines left running. 3 engines, oh my, no. This is pretty bad. Of the Earth right there, and we're going to have a closer look at the planetary view. So we need to burn for quite a bit longer. So I'm going to move this down here and then... Okay. Yeah, I triggered the completely wrong thing there. That could have been bad, I guess. So what is this? Come on. There we go. There we... yeah, a bit of trouble there, but it didn't impact us in any way. Yeah, I don't think we... I was afraid that I was going to... Ooh! That almost broke the solar panel. And we are getting to the point where we can cut the engine. I'm just going to wait until we get an actual encounter. So, did the node... I'm going to cut the engine there. I think we need to bring up the flight planner to figure out what to do next. There we go. That's better. See what the best encounter I can get is. So I'm going to go for this. Unfortunately, that is going to take another 437 meters per second of delta V. It's way more than I had anticipated. But just have to do this burn. There's really no other choice. So I'm just going to burn until we see the Venus encounter appear again. So I'm going to cut right there and perhaps just use some RCS to get a little bit closer, but That's not really necessary. We're going to make the necessary course corrections once we get closer to Venus. But that will be it for this episode of KSP Real Solar System Campaign. We have launched Tatiana Tikhonova on a mission to become the first Kerbal to go into interplanetary space. A big milestone for our space program. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will join me for the next video as well, where we will see where the journey of Tatiana will take her. But until then, take care and bye.